According to my driver's license. What's up? What's the crime lab need with a poor working stiff like yours truly?
A stiff of another kind turned up in the desert. Derek Hardy. You knew him?
Yeah, I know him. New? Dude is dead? Why would you notify me about it? He was just another client of mine. Former client. Former, even before he was dead. Hell, I don't know. A week maybe? A little more, a little less? Out at that condo of his and his wife's, when the jerk fired me. May he rest in peace. God, where was I 5 minutes ago? Hell, let me think. Must have been working at Emily's, yeah. She's alright. Ball breaker, but fair. That was days I worked. Nights, I was hanging at the ballpark. Yeah, minor league park, watching my nephew play. In the company of friends and family, I should add. A lot of friends and family. I don't think so. I got rights here, and I'm not crazy about the direction this is going.
Mind if we look around? Or do you intend to be strictly uncooperative? That's a direction we aren't crazy about.
Look, I don't want to stand in the way of nothing. Have at it. But the shop floor only, huh? Stay the hell out of my office. That's private. I don't let nobody in there. No, I'm a contractor who rides a bike with training wheels. What kind of detectives are you? Yes, I drive a truck. Professional grade. Dually. Not only did I not write it, I never seen it before.
Would you mind giving us a writing sample so we can exclude you?
I already told you I never seen it. What part of I got my rights don't you people understand?
Looks like a junk box, but maybe there'll be some evidence treasure in the trash. A detection tool will work better on that. Pity this jar isn't labeled, but it must not have come out of that kind of lab.
That's all I got for you.
You know I am, and you obviously know what a bad time this is for me. I've lost my son, and I've already spent several hours with you LVPD people this morning. If you'll excuse me.
We're with the crime lab, Mrs. Hanson, investigating your son's death. As much as we hate intruding into your time of grief, we need to ask a few questions.
A week ago. No, 6 days. Right before this last ill-advised desert excursion. I saw him when he picked up his camping gear. Here at home working. I have an office here. Lou Astor was. He's a contractor who's done a lot of work for me over the years. Recently I recommended him to Derek and his wife. But when Mr. Astor stopped by that day, he mentioned that he'd been fired by them. The contractor was gone by the time Derek stopped here. You don't think Astor could be responsible? I know he's a bit of a roughneck and has a certain reputation, but he's always done reliable work for me. I'd hate to think. My son was willfully unusual. You'll need to be specific.
Unusual as in a bruise on his forehead?
I noticed nothing of that nature. No injuries, no contusions. Although if Derek ended up that way, I can't say I'm surprised, considering the poor judgment he showed. backpacking into that wasteland of lowlifes and druggies. Perhaps Derek felt at home among that trash. Drugs and parties were how he spent his college days. Never grew up, I'm afraid. You think I'm cruel? Cold? Assume what you like, but I'm a mother who lost her child long, long ago. A disaster area. My darling daughter-in-law, Carla, is a 14-carat tramp. Derek only married her because I disapproved. Sheer rebellion. Simply sheer rebellion. It's the safest bet in Las Vegas that little slut is sleeping around on my son.
Just to eliminate you.
I'm sure you expect me to cooperate fully in your efforts to find out what happened to my son. And I do commend your public service. But as you may know, I'm a candidate for public office myself, and I intend not to be embarrassed. You will follow the rules. It will take a warrant to get my fingerprints or to search my house. And now, if there's nothing else, please leave me to my thoughts and my sorrow. That I will gladly bestow you. Take it and go. A truck? No, not anymore. I had a Chevy Blazer for some time, but sold it recently. Just 3 weeks ago. In the first place, my son and I had no financial difficulties. Our conflicts were philosophical. In the second place, that doesn't even sound like me. I would hardly threaten my own son. And even if I had, would I do so in such a cryptic fashion?
Already have, at the new owner's home. Hey, they can't all be hard. Even got a tread print for you. You're welcome. Oh yeah, her boss places her at work, doing overtime, for the whole week. You read the papers? Front page in the Las Vegas Post. Financial problems in Hansen's campaign. Staffers are abandoning ship. Seems paychecks have grown scarce lately, and an op-ed piece suggests Emily's son's lifestyle has hurt her in the polls. Motive? Maybe. He's been investigated more times than certain members of Congress. Fraud, extortion, even illegal gambling. In Vegas, that's a good trick. No convictions, though. Still makes you wonder why a respectable woman like Emily Hansen would want this scumbag working for her.
Tread types are definitely similar, but the tread marks taken from the desert weren't fresh, so the wear marks can't be matched exactly. Well, unidentified or not, this is the same substance as the one found in the tobacco. If Astor had access to this substance and found it in the Vic's tobacco, it's possible that the contractor did the mixing, even if the Vic himself did the rolling. We gotta find out what this stuff is. Mom's lipstick is similar to what we found in the desert, but the cigarette brands don't match.
Man, you make it sound serious. It was just this minor beef with him. Matter of fact, it was his wife who told me to stop working on their kitchen and get my stuff out. You know, typical contractor clients, always thinking you're overcharging and taking too long. Otherwise, that wife is all right. Easy on the eyes, too, and always ready with a lemonade or something for a hard-working man. Now, Mom, old Emily, good as she's been to me, I gotta say, she and her son, no love lost there. I mean, those two are at each other's throats. And Mommy? Whoa, that old girl is dangerous. Much as I hate to lose a good client, you ought to give her a kind of hard look. You know what I mean? One thing, I overheard her talking to baby boy on the phone. Seems Derek had come into some serious trust fund money after his father passed. And at some point, Sonny Boy promised Mommy Dearest he'd kick in on her campaign. Only he reneged. I don't know what her son was really up to. But to hear her tell it, Sonny Boy was partying hardy. All night, every night. Why that idiot didn't get on his mother's good side, I'll never get. I mean, with the power she'd be coming into, if she won that election, he could have been on Cush Street. You say you found his prints on a poker chip. I got no idea. Far as I remember, the guy was never here. Maybe those chips were in a box of stuff from his condo that I took after I got fired. Just some stuff of his that got accidentally mixed in with mine.
I gave it a cursory look. My attorney will give it a harder one. That paper supports my opponent, and they deal in half-truths and outright lies. Regardless, anyone who's ever been a parent understands the limitations and the disappointments even the best mothers and fathers face.
Is it true your son reneged on a large campaign contribution?
That's a ridiculously overblown way to put it. I wasn't angry at all about that. Derek said his funds were low, and I believed him. And anyway, he contributed in the past, generously, which I appreciated. Whatever private problems we had, my son supported my efforts as a public person. Besides which, my campaign has ample funding. If you're looking for dirt, my laundry is not the place to look for it. I'd suggest you take a long, lingering look at my son's promiscuous widow. I don't deal with rumor or speculation either. In fact, I had one of my security people keep Carla under surveillance. All my suspicions, it seems, were well-founded. That round-heeled slattern is a disgrace to our good name. I'm not sure this proves it, but I have this dated receipt from an estimate. Don't mind my doodles in the margins. Maybe so, but I haven't seen that vehicle in weeks. Do you really think I drove out into the middle of the desert to find and kill my own son? What kind of monster do you take me for?
Sweet. Looks like our contractor remodeled the truth into lies. He wrote this note. So how exactly is Carla getting her marriage back on track? And who's this other guy? So Carla takes out an insurance policy to protect the kids she and Derek didn't have. With her husband worth more dead than alive, and a new boyfriend on the horizon, well, look up motive in Webster's and it'll refer you to this.
Chemical in the tobacco matches that stuff Astor had in his shop. Let's see what else he's constructing in there. This warrant is good for anything chemically related, as well as any signs of Derek.